Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. It's just. Oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. A special type of wine. On this sweet occasion. So special every time. One in a million. And every time I have to go, you give me the I shall return. And I must come back. You give me the I shall return. And I must come back. You give me the I shall return. And I must come back. You give me the I shall return. And I must. You got me. Hook on you, hook on you, hook on you up. Hook on you, hook on you up. Hook on you, hook on you, hook on you up. You got me falling in love. Hook on you, hook on you, hook on you up. Hook on you, hook on you up. Hook on you, hook on you, hook on you up. And when you whine like that, you bubble like that, you rock it like that. I must come back. When you whine like that, you bubble like that, you rock it like that. I must come back. When you whine like that. She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene.
Let me say a most pleasant good evening to you, a most pleasant audience here tonight. I'm just truly elated tonight to grace your presences. And the reason I'm so elated is because since the inception of this event, I've been around. And when I started out, my friends, my responsibilities were to drive the girls back and forth from the hotels to the restaurants, etc. And then after a few years, they promoted me to the prop guy, okay? And so you guys would have seen me over the years bringing out those heavy props. Well, I've been faithful in bringing out the props, and so they decided to promote me. Look at me now. I made it, guys. And you know what? I'm going to be faithful. And you never know. I might just be sitting in your chair, my friend, next time. But guys, I'm telling you, we've got 8 beautiful girls. They're all ready. They're like horses, ready to take off. And so without much further ado, we're going to start the fanfare and the interview segment. So at this time, my friends, let us welcome these 8 beautiful girls. They're all queens, but tonight they're going to be vying to be the queen of queens. All right, and these girls are vivacious. They are glamorous. They are so eccentric. I'm telling you, they are truly beautiful. All right, and so let's go on with the show, my friends. All right, let's go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome an ambassador number 1.
I'm not tipping up till me rum gone. I make a drink from sun up to sundown. I don't care if the rain I come down. I'm feeling. Ha! With a punching 3-0 brandy or some Johnny Walker. Pick up our drinkers in at this place right now. I got one and I get a wine while I drinking some fire.
Good evening, and how are you doing tonight?
I am flowery.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're grateful to have you tonight. We have some people here that are longing to know more about you, so I want you at this time to introduce yourself, tell us your name and the country that you're representing tonight.
Good evening, Charlestown, Nevis. I am Anya Edwin, representing Simply Beautiful St. Lucia.
All right, let's give it up for St. Lucia. All right, St. Lucia, again, your dress is quite beautiful. Can you tell us tonight what your dress is representing?
Certainly. My dress is the true likeness of Madame Lawas. It is crafted with pink taffeta and netting fabric, and it is also adorned with artificial flowers, leaves, and gemstones. My dress was designed by Shannon Lago, and my headpiece was handcrafted by Marionetta Thomas and Genova Lambert. My dress is one of 2 flower festivals celebrated on the island. It is also known as the Rose of Saint Lima, and it is celebrated each year on August 30th. This flower festival plays a very major part in the cultural and history life of the island. The Lawas Festival is celebrated throughout the rural communities. The groups dresses up and dances and parades in grand style, as well as sings throughout the communities where they celebrate the flower. Ladies and gentlemen, my dress is depicting the St. Lucia St. Rose of Lima, Madame Lawas.
Give it up. Contestant number 1. Contestant number 1, there's a judge, some judges here, and the judge assigned to you is judge number 1. So they're going to ask you a question at this time.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening, judge number 1.
Peter White. Pageants such as American have removed the swimsuit segment from shows more inclusive to women of all sizes. In your opinion, should Miss Caribbean Culture Pageant follow suit? Pageants such as Miss American have removed the swimsuit segment to make show more inclusive to women of all sizes. In your opinion, should Miss Caribbean Culture Pageant follow suit?
Thank you very much for your question. A woman's empowerment or ability to be empowered should not be decided upon her size, race, color, descent, or ethnicity. However, I am of the strong opinion that if a lady who is aspiring to be in a pageant is not of the size that is the norm or generally accepted, she should be given a fair chance and opportunity to participate in that pageant. The decision is that of the Caribbean Culture Queen Pageant to remove swimsuit from the pageant. However, every woman should be equally empowered and be given the equal opportunity to participate in a pageant regardless of their size. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up for delegate number 1. Okay? As delegate 1 leaves the stage, let's make welcome delegate number 2.
Johnny Walker, we go for drinkers in at this place right now. I got all and I got a wine while I drinking some fire water. Energy got me feeling so high, and I'm feeling nice, and I feel so high.
Good evening. How are you doing this evening?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm very well. Feeling a little hot though. All right, at this time, I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us your name and the country you're representing tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ayana Dorset, your Miss Antigua and Barbuda.
All right, give it up for Miss Antigua and Barbuda. And at this time, you're wearing a very colorful costume. Can you tell us a little bit more about your costume?
My cultural costume is entitled Cultural Greatness. The skirt and pants give movement when we dance to the African drum, soca, bena, and calypso. This fabulous headpiece represents the fantastic lifestyle we live in Antigua and Barbuda, especially around Carnival. We dub it the Caribbean's greatest summer festival. The Madras, our national fabrics, shows the diversity of our culture and the lovely lifestyle we live in Antigua and the warm hospitality we give to everyone.
Give it up for delegate number 2. All right. There's a judge that is assigned to you, and you being delegate number 2, is going to now ask you a question, right?
Good evening, Miss Antigua and Barbuda.
Good evening, Judge number 2.
I trust you've been having a wonderful time. Is this your first time in Nevis?
Yes, it is. First time in Nevis.
Well, I hope you come back and take in all the sights. We have places here similar to Shirley Heights, you know. So when you come back, check out the places, yes?
No problem. I will speak to Liat about that.
No problem. Your question. No problem. Your question. International pageants, such as the Miss Universe pageant, has allowed transgender women to participate in their competitions. If, in your opinion, should regional pageants, such as the Miss Caribbean Culture Queen pageant, follow suit? Let me repeat it for you, please. International pageants, such as the Miss Universe pageant, has allowed transgender women to participate in their competitions. In your opinion, should regional pageants, such as the Miss Caribbean Culture Queen pageant, follow suit?
Thank you for that very interesting question. This question goes twofold, but the Caribbean region is governed by the laws and the sovereign, which is God, and God ordained women to participate in local pageants and regional pageants. I do not think that our Caribbean should follow suit to the larger countries, because we should stand firm in our grounds that pageantry is for male and female, but transgender should have their own pageants if they wish to do so. Thank you.
Okay, that's ambassador number 2. Let's give her some love as she exits the stage. All right, let's make welcome now for delegate number 3. Contestant number 3.
She everything I love. Where she from, I don't know. She wears some gold. Pick up the place like a dojo. So what you say, what you say, what you say? Everything girl, when you come my way. What you do, what you do, what you do. I must get through. Girl, roll up now, your shoe.
Good evening. And how are you doing this evening?
I'm feeling a bit nervous, but I'm still confident. I'm taking everything in stride and trying to stay as focused as possible.
You're going to be just all right, sweetie. All right. Don't worry about it. All right. Our audience, they would like to know a little bit more about you. So could you be so kind as to tell us a little bit about the country you came from and your name?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hailing from the country of steel pan, calypso, and limbo, I am Gabriela Bernard, Miss Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, give it up for Miss Trinidad and Tobago. Now, your costume. Tell us a little more about it.
Yes, so you will notice that my ambassadorial wear represents the national colors of my country, red, white, and black. Red represents the vitality of the land, the courage and friendliness of the people, and the warmth of the sun. The white represents the sea that bonds our lands together, the cradle of our heritage, and the unity of our people. The black represents power, strength, and the wealth of the land. You'll also know that it is a pan here in my skirt, which was invented in Trinidad in the 20th century. It was the only musical instrument invented in the 20th century. You'll also notice when I flutter my skirt like this, it looks like hummingbird wings, and I have hibiscus flowers in my hair, both of which represent the beautiful flora and fauna of Trinidad and Tobago.
Awesome. Let's give it up for Trinidad and Tobago. Now, there's a judge that is assigned to you. They're going to be asking you a question. Very simple question, but before they do, I want to ask you one. Who did you get your good looks from?
It was actually my mom.
Your mom, all right. Okay, the judge assigned to you is judge number 3.
Good evening, Gabrielle.
Good evening.
Welcome to Nevis.
Thank you. It's so friendly and warm here.
It is, indeed. As a transplanted Trinidadian myself, I'm very pleased to welcome you. Many people believe that physically beating a child is a colonial remnant of child abuse that should be removed from a Caribbean society and made punishable by law. What do you think?
So I actually do agree on that viewpoint. Beating children is a form of colonial remnants, and that should not be encouraged, because when the child grows up, they learn that, okay, if someone disagrees with me, what I have to do is hit them. And I think if a child is old enough for you to hit them, they're old enough for you to sit them down and speak to them about what they have done, explain to them why it's wrong, and discipline them in a proper manner. You do not have to resort to hitting, because that leads to domestic violence and a whole lot of other drama that we need to avoid.
All right, give it up for contestant number 3. Okay, as she exits, contestant number 4 will be making her way. So let us give her some love. Give it up, contestant number 4.
Yeah. She got the thing I love. Where she from, I don't know. Rock she waist and go low. Pick up the place like a dojo. So will you say? The girl, will you come my way?
All right, let's give contestant number 4 some love. Contestant number 4, can you introduce yourself to us? Tell us your name and the country you're representing tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your very own Kalicha Swanston, Miss Nevis.
All right, give it up for your very own. Miss Nevis, very colorful, I'm going to say very beautiful costume tonight. I myself personally would like to know a little more about it, and also the audience, so tell us a little more.
My costume is a very unique one. My costume, the Nevisian butterfly of hope, where people experience the calming spirit of all people when they come to Nevis. The colors in my costume is a collage of the different cultures in Nevis to make Nevis nice and to bring hope to all visitors, especially in difficult times. So my costume says, welcome to Nevis, the Queen of the Caribbean.
All right, thank you very much. Nevis. Now, there's a judge here, and he's got a question for you. So, judge number 4, that's your lucky number. Go, jumbo judge.
Good evening, Kalitra. How are you today?
Good evening, I'm fine, and yourself?
All right, my name is Dion, and my question is, the Caribbean region faces hurricane threats such as Irma and Maria each year. Give a suggestion to a country whose main industry is tourism to combat this threat.
Could you repeat the question?
Certainly, I will. The Caribbean region faces hurricane threats such as Irma and Maria each year. Give a suggestion to a country whose main industry is tourism to combat this threat.
Natural disaster is a very serious topic. However, our society takes it for granted. What my advice would be is to tell the government to be prepared. An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Don't wait until the last minute to board up our buildings and to clean out our gut. Prepare yourself way before, so when the hurricane comes, it is not too much of a damage, and our tourist industry can hold, so when our tourist comes, they can say, wow, the island of beaches, foods, and beautiful people.
Thank you. Give it up for contestant number 4, your very own, Nevis. All right, we now welcome contestant number 5.
Yes, it was a sweet sensation. When the big truck rolling down in the heart of tongue, it was pure confusion. The German calling, and he bleeding. Public was calling, and they're begging. The minister calling, and he bawling. But they could
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
And how are you doing this evening?
I am absolutely fantastic, thank you.
All right. You're contestant number 5, right? All right. Tell us a little more about yourself. Introduce yourself to us.
Good evening, Queen Kitts-Nevis. I am Miss Sarafina Osborne, representing Sweet Sugar City, St. Kitts.
Miss St. Kitts. And you have a very beautiful costume as well here tonight. Tell us a little more about it.
Certainly. Raising yard fowls has been an old age practice in St. Kitts. These feathered creatures have often sustained many families for many years, and they've been kept for food and for poultry. Oil, ask all your grandmother, because ain't no meat sweeter than yard fowl meat. My headpiece represents the fowl's red comb, while my arm and back pieces symbolize the colorful feathers of the fowl's front and bow wings. My waist piece creates the illusion of the fowl's fancy tail feather. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening I pay homage to the yard fowl in a costume dubbed Fowl of Fear.
Thank you, Miss St. Kitts. And the judge assigned to you is judge number 5. So prepare yourself for his question.
Good evening, Sarafina.
Good evening.
My question to you is, Miss Caribbean Culture brings together people from around the Caribbean. What measure can Caribbean governments introduce to increase inter-region travel?
Can you please repeat the question?
Sure. Miss Caribbean Culture brings together people from around the Caribbean. What measure can Caribbean governments introduce to increase inter-region travel?
Thank you for your question. I believe that the governments of the Caribbean should invest in our regional airline, that is LIAT. Once the Caribbean government invests in our airline, it will decrease the cost it is for our people to travel throughout the Caribbean region, and then is where we'll see an increase in our people traveling throughout the Caribbean region. Thank you.
Okay, let's give it up for contestant number 5. All right, as she exits the stage, let's make welcome contestant number 6. Come on, let's give her some love. Contestant number 6.
Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. She got the thing I love. Where she from, I don't know. She wears and go low. Pick up the place like a dojo. So what you say, what you say, what you say? The girl, when you come my way. What you do, what you do, what you do. I must get through. Girl, roll up now, you show me that wine. Turn around, girl, don't be shy. Hello, hello.
All right. Contestant number 6, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing this evening, my dear?
I'm doing good, and
Pretty good dancer.
thank you.
Right. Tell us your name and a little bit more about your country that you're representing tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Emerald of the Caribbean Sea, gem of the Atlantic Ocean. From America's Paradise, I am 23-year-old Shanisa Emmanuel, representing Twin City, St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Okay. Thank you very much. And your costume, tell us a little more about it tonight.
A costume representing the vibrancy of fire, ablaze in the city of Frederick St. Croix, set in a tone of strength, positive femininity, self-worth, and human rights. Queen Mary, Queen Matilda, Queen Agnes, and Queen Bottom-Belly led a riot-turned inferno in 1878, demanding for better wages and working conditions for all laborers. That heat ignited an ever-burning passion within the Crucian people to always demand their worth, relish their culture, and soar. My costume represents the ability of my people to circumvent to what was said to be a losing battle, relish their culture, and claim victory. Resiliency burning for centuries.
Let's give it up for contestant number 6. Now, there's a judge here that's going to be asking you a question, but I've got one before him. I'm going to ask you a fun question, just to relax you. Do you know why God created woman?
He created a woman for man.
Well, I heard that he took a good look at man, and he said, you know what? I could do a whole lot better than this.
Oh, really?
And women came about, all right? They missed it. All right, so judge number 6, Your question.
Hello, Miss Croy.
Hi,
And how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm same. My question to you is a very simple question. There are many who believe that American culture through media is taking over our Caribbean culture. If Crown Miss Caribbean Culture 2018, what would you do to preserve and protect our cultural art forms? I will repeat. There are many who believe that American culture through media is taking over our Caribbean culture. If Crown Miss Caribbean Culture 2018, what would you do to preserve and protect our art forms?
That's a good question. Okay, I live in the U.S. Virgin Islands, a territory of the USA, and the Virgin Islands is a melting pot. In our school, we always teach our students the importance of Caribbean culture. We have people from St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, Antigua, Anguilla, and all over the Caribbean. We implement the importance of learning each other's culture. So I don't think, in my opinion, that the American culture is taking over the Caribbean culture. I think that we are actually implementing it. And I'm very passionate about teaching culture. As Miss St. Croix, I make it my duty to tell people about my culture because my parents are from St. Lucia, and we actually implement it in the schools. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Contestant number 6. Okay, we now make welcome contestant number 7.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. She had the thing I love. Where she from, I don't know. She wears and go low. Pick up the place like a dojo. So what you say, what you say, what you say? The girl when you come my way. Now what you do, what you do, what you do? I must get through. Girl, roll up your way, show me that wine. Turn around, girl, don't be shy. Hello, 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 hello.
All right, good evening, good evening. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing wonderful.
I want you first to introduce yourself to us. Tell us your name and the country that you're representing tonight.
Pleasant evening, Nevis. I am Shalissa Nanton, Miss St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Okay. And your national costume, can you tell us a little more about it?
My national costume represents our botanical gardens. It was created in 1765 by General Robert Melville. It is 253 years old, which means it is the oldest in the Western Hemisphere. It is also the place where Captain Bligh introduced the breadfruit plant, which is a part of our national dish, roasted breadfruit and fried jackfish. It also promotes the conservation of rare species such as our national bird, the Amazona gildingi, which you can see there. Our botanical gardens represent the beauty of our island and the warmth of our people.
Thank you very much, Ms. St. Vincent. And now your judge is judge number 7. So prepare for your question.
Good evening, Ms. St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Good evening.
Your question. Social media streaming has opened up pageantry to cyberbullying. What advice would you give to young women who are interested in pageantry but are afraid to be criticized?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Certainly. Social media streaming has opened up pageantry to cyberbullying. What advice would you give to young women who are interested in pageantry but are afraid to be criticized?
Social media is a tool, and it is sad to say that we have been using it for the wrong reason. I myself have been a victim of bullying in my country. I would tell a young lady who is interested in participating in pageantry to do not let that deter you from your end goal. You cannot let what people say or think about you stop you from achieving your dreams and from pursuing whatever you want in life. regardless of what they're saying. So go out there, do your best, and you will be successful.
Thank you very much, Miss St. Vincent. Let's give her some love as she exits the stage tonight. All right. Ambassador number 8. Let's welcome her as she graces our presence at this time.
She walking up a storm, whining in a circle. Watch how she perform. She's so cool when she whine and freeze. People stop and staring. Gunman on their knees and mulling oh. Girl, the way you roll it bumper cause tap, making me go crazy. Oh, just standing here and watching you whine like that. You're making it so hard for me.
All right, thank you very much. Ambassador number 8, how are you doing this evening?
I feel elated to be here this
So do I feel, the same way. Okay, tell us a little bit more about yourself, your name, and the country that you are representing tonight.
Good evening, pageant lovers. I am Tamaya Monroe from the spice capital of the Caribbean, Miss Grenada.
Let's give it up for Miss Grenada. Miss Grenada, I want you to tell us a little more about your national costume tonight.
Imagine a place where untouched beauty meets warm, friendly people. A picture-perfect country. An experience beyond what can be imagined. That's my country, Grenada, an island with unspoiled landscape, lush vegetation, friendly people, and warm sunshine, all depicted in our national colors, red, green, and gold. A destination hugged with white and black sand beaches, breathtaking scenery, and cool breeze to top it all off. Not to mention our August festivities, our carnival, rich in culture, that not just reminds our people of their history, but gives to them a form of fun and relaxation. How can we speak of the Isle of Spice and not mention our wide array of spices, being among the top exporters of ginger, cinnamon, bay leaf, and our black gold, the nutmeg. My costume represents spicy Grenada, where adventure awaits you.
Thank you very much. And your judge tonight is judge number 8. You're the final delegate tonight, so let's have that question from judge number 8. Thank you, friends.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So my question for you is, the use of makeup is a vital part of pageantry, movies, and celebrity appearances. However, there are many young women who do not feel beautiful without makeup. What would you say to such a person?
A lot of people think of beauty as just being that physical being all dressed up and putting on makeup. But it is much more than that. It comes from inner beauty. Nothing is more beautiful than someone who can make another person's life beautiful. That is true beauty.
Thank you very much. And that was contestant number 8. And let's all give them some love tonight. Come on, give it up for the girls tonight.